For the first time in the history of man, the Justice Department has made the argument that we can't have access to government records because someone might use them to create AI deepfakes. Attorney General Garland, who's yet to be held in contempt for hiding this material, was questioned about this, and this was his song and dance. Who was the congresswoman who posted this? Anna Paulina, I always screw up her last name. Luna? Well, either way, I'll get her name right by the end of the video.
We have gone beyond precedent to provide the committee with the transcripts of the special counsel's interview with the president. But we have made clear that we will not provide audio recordings from which the transcripts that you already have were created.
And with respect to the actual audio recordings sought by the majority, the Department of Justice has produced full and complete transcripts of the conversations memorialized by these recordings. Is that correct?
It is.
There's been an allegation that the transcripts might have been altered in some way. Is there any truth to that allegation?
There's no truth to that. The senior career official in the department, in a declaration he filed under oath, stated that he had compared the audio to the transcript, and that it is an accurate transcript is accurate with the exceptions of us and ahs and repetitions of words like I and. Transcript is accurate with the exceptions of us and ahs and repetitions of words like I and.
The Department of Justice has produced full and complete transcripts of the conversations memorialized by these recordings. Is that correct?
With the exceptions of us and ahs and repetitions of words like I and.
Yeah, that was from Anna Paulina Luna's Twitter feed. And look, if you're trying to get full information about the credibility of a witness, you want to see and hear them generally. If you can't see them, you want to hear them. And someone like Joe Biden or anyone else who is constantly pausing for long periods of time, stutters over words, pauses over words, you need to hear that. And when you start taking away words that a witness says, and by the way, the transcript doesn't take away all those multiple words. There are times where he does say I, or someone says I, and they leave it in, which raises additional questions. Well, why was that left in and others taken out? And the seeming answer that I think we should fairly conclude is that it was designed to make Joe seem more sensible and cognitively with it than he actually is. I mean, who are they fooling by suggesting otherwise? The transcript's inaccurate except for the transcript's accurate except for the places where it's inaccurate. And inaccurate in a way that seems to benefit Biden politically. Legally, it was wired. I mean, he committed the crime, and they didn't prosecute him while they instead prosecuted Trump for the same type of alleged crime. So it didn't really matter what he was saying. They weren't going to prosecute him. I think that's my conclusion. So this is purely political. Political manipulation of evidence. Tampering, altering, what word? I want you to put all the synonyms for tampering, evidence tampering, spoliation. What other words can you come up with? But then it gets crazier. For the first time in the history of man, the Justice Department has made the argument that we can't have access to government records because someone might use them to create AI deepfakes. Specifically, they can create AI deepfakes, artificial intelligence deepfakes, of Joe Biden's voice using the audios. I mean, just think about that crazy assertion. First of all, there's no basis in law to hide records that we're due to get under law because someone might manipulate those records. That's true for any FOIA record. It would end FOIA if that were the new standard. Because it's an audio that can be manipulated, documents can be manipulated. Joe Biden speaks every day. Think of all the words he's spoken. We don't need that audio to do even a deep fake of the transcript. Someone could just release it right now, and people would think it would be true. And it doesn't matter. It's the First Amendment either way. The passage of time, this is the argument they use. This is the crazy argument, completely made up out of whole cloth in terms of law. There's no law behind it. As I said, if it were followed, it would end FOIA. We couldn't get any documents. The passage of time and advancements in audio, artificial intelligence, and deepfake technologies only amplifies concerns about malicious manipulation of audio files. It's purely a political concern. It's not a legal concern. If the audio recording is released here, it is easy to foresee that it could be improperly altered, and that the altered file could be passed off as an authentic recording and widely distributed. For example, a malicious actor, or maybe someone just making satire, could slow down the speed of the recording, or maybe a political opponent trying to make a point by slowing down the speed of the recording, or insert words that President Biden did not say, or delete words that he did say. As I said, that can be done already with or without this recording, and it's no legal basis to withhold the material. The problem is made worse by the fact that there is now widely available technology that can be used to create entirely different audio deepfakes based on a recording. Right. And it can be used to create the thing they're worried about right now. Or they're pretending to be worried about. I mean, this is kind of this is an argument I'm scratching my head over because there's no law behind it, so they're just asking for a new exemption under FOIA that doesn't make any sense. And it's so, to me, it's obviously political and craven, but there's this little hint. I kind of see it as because the Biden gang has, and Obama is, by the way, running their AI control operation. He's helping them develop policy. You may not know that, but it's true. He's been appointed. He's been helping them on that. They're desperate to control outputs of AI, and they use this deepfake misinformation model as a reason to censor and control AI outputs. Now, I don't need to tell you why the government controlling AI outputs and forcing and pushing private sector to censor AI outputs is anathema to the First Amendment and freedom and free speech. So I think this kind of semi-obsession, they're trying to run an argument in part through this brief. But either way, it's pretty extraordinary because it's no reason to withhold government information from you, my fellow American. And they quote a Washington Post story. So the Washington Post is the law here. Rapid advances in artificial intelligence have made it easy to generate believable audio, allowing anyone to copy somebody's voice, leading to a flood of fake content on the web. To be sure, other raw materials, and this is the admission that Tom Fitton's right, or that anyone else with a modicum of common sense, modicum of common sense is right. To be sure, other raw material to create a deep fake of President Biden's voice is already available. But release of the audio recording presents unique risks. For public knowledge the audio recording had been released, it becomes easier for malicious actors to pass off an altered file as a true recording. That just makes no sense as a matter of law. I'm not a lawyer. You don't have to be a lawyer to know you can't withhold government documents because someone might mess with the document in a way that changes the actual document, whether it be a recording or a piece of paper. This is Nixonian. I haven't seen such desperation to withhold an audio recording by an administration. Similar, that is so baseless. No law, no precedent behind much of what they're arguing here. Andy Biggs was the congressman from Arizona, had pursued this issue a little bit with Garland as well.
Now, your office has basically pled two things in court, claiming, number one, executive privilege, and number two, this kind of interesting novel approach saying deep fakes, AI.
You're mischaracterizing the filing. That was one of a substantial number of arguments made in a Freedom of Information.
Did they consult with you specifically about that idea, right, that notion where they were going to say something like, quote, this is from the pleading, the passage of time and advancements in audio, artificial intelligence, and deepfake technologies only amplify concerns about malicious manipulation of audio files, close quote. Did they consult with you about that provision?
I'm not going to talk about internal department deliberations. See, that was one of a large number of explanations in the document you're talking about.
Your attorney also said that you did alter the transcript, and they said it was filler words, repeat words, and, I. But you know what? We don't know whether the blank, he said there were blank times where there was silence. We don't know whether those were 1 minute long, 2 minutes long. We don't know if he sputtered for and, because those were edited out.
Yeah. So now it's going to be up to a federal judge to cut through this mess and morass. Our brief is due in a few weeks. I think it's due the end of the month, like the 26th or 27th or something. So we'll be filing briefs. I'm not quite sure if it's going to be a brief or briefs because there are 3 other parties that are joining with us to pursue these issues. We'll probably have our own brief. Heritage will be fighting, and we're working alongside CNN and all the liberal media. They want the truth here too. So all you lefties watching this, you can attack me and Judicial Watch for demanding this information, but what about CNN and all the media organizations, all the major media organizations that want this document too, these audio files too, and are going to be pushing back as strongly as Judicial Watch will be in demanding full access to this on behalf of their listeners, viewers, readers, and the American people. Government transparency, properly understood, unites really the left and the right in many ways. And I mean liberals and conservatives. The left is, I think the left, when I hear left, when I use the word left, I usually mean communist. But in this case, I mean liberals. So we'll see where this goes. It's going to be tough to get these documents in the meantime, or these audio tapes. Maybe political pressure will result in their release. But the Biden people, they don't care. We'll get some negative press, right? But then something else will come up. They'll indict Trump again or something crazy like that. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like our video down below.